Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Real Talk Atlanta.
Yes.
You guys excited to be here again?
Always. This is my favorite part of the day.
Yeah.
Of the week.
Yeah. Speaking of the week, let's talk about like what's been going on this week with everybody. Let's do a little catch up.
Child, y'all know I'm always a dramatic one. Something always going on, but it's been a good week, y'all. It's been super busy. I had 3 closings this week.
Come on, it's only Wednesday. It's literally Wednesday.
But it is, but it's like,
Give me $1.
It's a blessing.
Right. Yes.
y'all, it be stressful sometimes. I love y'all clients, I do, but I'm a one-man band, so it's been a lot.
You're killing
My
it, though,
body,
sis.
but I am taking a break in July.
You know you need it right now.
Take
Where
it.
you
Take
going?
us
with you.
She going to
Miami.
Of course. We knew that.
What's going on with you ladies?
For me, it has been a restful week. What's wrong? You was gonna say something?
cut that out. Make sure we cut out too.
I'm sorry. It's been a restful week. I've been trying to kind of work the back end processes. Of course, I have clients under contract, but for me, it's really about like creating an environment for me where my business will flourish. So that's what I've been focused this week.
Please come work on my back end processes.
Okay, help me too, because I've been on vacation and living my best life.
Yes, you
But
just
I'm
came back.
Came back from Miami
With a tan.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got a little tan. I've been on that beach, y'all. The
love
whole
that for
time
you.
outside, the
Love
whole
it.
time. So I'm getting back into the groove of things now. But that's me.
I love it.
Meanwhile, I've been stressed out. Like this week it's just been a lot.
laid
Like,
on the day.
Yeah. Just another day. Just clients ripping and running me all over the place, all over Georgia.
Yeah.
But nothing we can't handle.
The houses won't sell themselves.
That is the truth.
So for this week, I wanted us to talk about what it's like after closing, because all the episodes we've had so far, we've only been discussing how we can get you guys to the closing table. But now that you're over the hill, we got you your house, like what are the next steps? So we wanted to call this the 10 post-closing commandments, right? I love that. So we are giving you guys 10 steps or 10 tips that you should remember after you close on your home. So the first thing that I wanted to mention, because this is one of the first things that I do personally with my clients after we close, I basically just send them an email with all of their closing documents so they have it. So I always tell them, I want you to take all these documents and just put them in a safe place and somewhere that's easily accessible. So if you ever need your closing documents, you know where to find them.
Right. And then after you close, the attorney's office will give you the physical packet as well, and as well as having that electronic.
Make
Yeah, the hard
copies.
drive.
Yeah, make copies.
Yes,
Make
that's
a
super
million
important.
copies.
I like to tell my clients too, it won't hurt if you just take all the documents and save them into a file on your computer, because things get lost in the move all the time. So if you can just have it in one place and you know where it is, that's always good.
Especially like when you do like address change and stuff like that, because you need proof that you live there. Those documents are really your only proof. So keep them, save them. I know y'all having fun right after y'all close, but lock those documents up in your glove box or something. Do not lose those because you will need them.
Especially your settlement statement, because I know that you need that to cut on your utilities. And everything that you need to stay in that house.
Yeah.
And a lot of people forget to actually do that.
I know.
This
We
is
gonna
when
get
the
into
real
that.
responsibility start. One of my friends actually, a friend of a friend, she was talking about how buying a home for her would never be a plan for her. Me as a realtor, I was triggered, child. Triggered.
You
And
ready
she
to
was
debate?
like, and I was like, why would you not buy a home? She was like, it's a really big responsibility. So just to go back, after closing, I feel like this is when the responsibility starts, and it starts with having all your documents in one place, secure and safe.
After closing, it gets real.
It gets real. Okay.
Yeah. So after you have all your documents saved, the next thing that I would probably recommend is to beware of scammers. Now, mind y'all, we live in Atlanta. We know about scammers, okay?
Scam Lana.
Yeah, this happens all the time. 2 of the most popular scams that I see, people have to remember, once you purchase your home, you get a deed, and that deed is publicly recorded. So everyone's going to know that you purchased a home. So a lot of times scammers are going to reach out to you. For instance, one of my clients, little story time, he texted me at like 7, 8 in the morning a couple weeks ago after he closed. He was like, you need to call me as soon as you get this. I was like, what's going on? Yeah. So he basically called and said he got like a really weird a letter in the mail saying with his home insurance that he wasn't insured anymore and that he needed to just send money to some company to keep his house insured. Things like that. People, a lot of these scammers, they will purchase those public records and just reach out to you in order to get some money. So always beware.
And because the process is so new, you guys really don't know what to expect unless, you know, we kind of warn you, hey, be looking out for this from this person or that. And so sometimes just naturally when you get those things in the mail about your taxes, you need to do something for property taxes, you need to do something for your deed, people just go with it. And those, baby, this is scam Lanta. We'll take you for your realtor.
Yeah, especially with your mortgage lenders, because I know the most common one is them acting like your mortgage lender and telling you to send your mortgage to this place. Always call your mortgage lender just to confirm, because sometimes they do sell your loans. And you do have to send it to someone else, but you always call your mortgage lender and just confirm that is the case, because sometimes it may not be.
Be safe and not sorry, because once that money gone, baby, it's gone.
It's gone. It is gone. And I'm glad that you touched on this, because when I purchased my home and we had it originally with Loan Depot, and literally like 2 weeks after they sold it to another company, another loan, and then we had to pay a mortgage through the new loan, the new lender, right? You're right. So make sure you guys ask your lender, ask your realtors to make sure that you're getting the right information and you're doing the right stuff.
And that's something that your clients can ask up front when they're getting pre-approved. Like, hey, Mr. Lender, what's the likelihood that my loan may get sold to someone else? Because a lot of lenders don't service mortgage loans in-house. So if you see that, it's not uncommon. That's not a scam, but you just want to make sure you're sending it to the right people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like that. That was a good tip.
So the third commandment is to transfer all of your utilities. That's super important. Okay?
Cut your lights on, girl.
Yes, cut your lights on. Imagine like moving into a new house and now you can't like brush your teeth and shower because you forgot to turn it on.
I think that's the thing. Like after you close on the house, like you're super, super excited. Just like Nika, I just closed on mine a couple weeks ago, and like y'all, I'm super excited. Like the last thing on this earth I'm thinking about is, oh, I gotta make sure the electricity is on. Like that's not what I'm thinking. And it's crazy because my brother, he also just closed on his house, and
shout out
to him.
Yes.
Shout out to TJ Spencer. Casa TJ is officially open, y'all. We gonna have a ball, but we just had so much fun. Like it was closing, our family was here. You know, we got to hang out. And something just told me, like, let me check on this baby, because I know how my brother is. Y'all, lo and behold, he's dark. Like, wait, they was on when we got here though. So like, why would they be off? And I'm like, that was not for you. Those were not your utilities. You have to call, get them changing your name. And it's so ironic because Taisha actually closed on the house next door to my brother with her client. He's like, yeah, can you ask Taisha's client maybe if I could use the Wi-Fi,
because she was on it. She had everything set up.
And those utility companies, some of them, they're not same day. So like my brother works from home. He has to wait until 2 weeks from now to get his internet
to make that appointment.
So yeah, I got a little roommate for the next couple.
That is so funny.
Did not turn on them utilities.
It happens all the time. Like you have to remember to turn your utilities on. Sometimes with like a resale property, most of the time the owner's going to cut it off the day of closing. Sometimes it's very rare they may give you a day to turn it on, but just have that done.
And you can get that information of the companies that they use. If it's a resale, from the previous owners. If it's a new construction, the builder, sales agent to provide that to you.
Right. Absolutely. It could be prior or at closing. Usually when everybody's on the table, you get, you have like room to say, hey, like what utility, what water company or electricity company.
Yeah.
But you don't want to move in your house and you go in and take a dump and you can
not
but
that.
she's not wrong, baby. There'll be no flushing going on. Then you have a whole different problem. And to that point with utilities, some people forget that, like if you're in an HOA community, sometimes there are different utilities covered within that HOA. So make sure you know what utilities you're responsible for. If your house is all electric, do not call Georgia Natural Gas. They don't have anything for you. So like be clear that you know what utilities to turn on and turn on your utilities.
Yes, you have to.
It,
we don't want y'all in the dark. No.
And apart from utility, I'm glad we're on that topic. Another good one is also ADT. So one of the good service that I provide my clients that are about to close on their home is I partner with ADT, and I will arrange for your security stuff to be installed even prior to closing, and that's really good. So you don't have to worry about that. But using me as a realtor, that's
good, because that brings me into commandment number 4, and that is to have all of your like access codes and locks changed.
Yes.
That's super important. For instance, because you just don't want whoever lived in the home before to have access to your house. So
even if it's new construction,
exactly.
The builders, the painters, they have access. The sales agent, change it.
Yeah.
And most homes are rentals too, so you don't want the tenant to have access to your home.
Y'all know you can go to Publix and copy a key now. So it's like, it's no telling who got the key to your house. And then, you know, when we're doing all these showings, hundreds of agents have been in this house. And I'm not saying agents copy keys and things like that, but it's just like too many people have access to this house before you did. Change the locks. Like, these are small things, and people just really, like, after you close, you're not thinking about it. But
don't be
safe. Not sorry, baby. Change those locks.
And not just your locks, even if it's like your garage door code, things like that. People, it's crazy out here. So make sure you do that. And the next thing is
commandment number 5.
We halfway there. Is to apply for your homestead exemption.
Oh yes, a lot of people forget that. I literally was at a closing, and the closing attorney was, even though I always tell my clients at the beginning of the year, I send an email like, file your taxes. But the closing attorney was actually telling my client, you know, make sure you file your taxes, save up this much X amount. And it was crazy because her parents were talking like they didn't even know about homestead exemptions, and they bought their house years ago. So they were talking about how they missed out on all this savings because they just weren't informed about it.
That's unfortunate.
Right. So what is a homestead? That's a good amount of money. So a homestead basically gives you a reduction on your taxes for owner-occupied homes. So if it's an investment property, it doesn't apply. But if it's your primary residence, you can file for this tax exemption through your county office. You can do it online as well, but I always tell my clients to go in office because I've heard like people going in there and getting additional reductions because they're just in person and they're just, you know, they want to give you a little bit more. So I would recommend going into your local county office, and you want to make sure that you have that file before March 15th?
Yeah, the deadline is April 1st, but March 15th to be safe.
The earlier, the better.
Yeah.
Those things take
time.
time.
In January.
Do it in January.
As soon as you can. Yeah. Sometimes you can do it as soon as your deed is recorded, but it depends on the county. So just you can go to your county office or just do it online and see. As soon as you're able to apply, I suggest going ahead and do it.
Because once you forget, it's done data, and it's weird because I just learned, you know, I'm licensed in Illinois as well, and my client, she hadn't filed for her homestead either, but in Illinois, they'll give you the back pay. So if you didn't file it for those years that you were, but in Georgia, that is not the case. If you don't file, you kind of miss out on that. But just like homestead, there are other tax exemptions that are really, really important to apply for if you qualify for them. One of them I work with a lot, of course, is like military, right? If you are 100% disabled veteran, you get a tax break on your property taxes. You don't have to pay as much as just like the homestead exemption, but it is for veterans. And then if you're not 100% disabled veteran, but you have a disability that pretty much stops you from being employed or cuts off your ability to work, there's an exemption for that as well. And then similar to that, there's like senior tax exemptions if you're 62 with like a 30K or less income. And then if you're 65, you get double homestead. So 2 times the break. It's just a lot of exemptions, I would say, for first-time or owner-occupant homes, for senior citizens, for veterans, and, of course, spouses. If you're a spouse of a disabled veteran or of a veteran who passed away, you have certain rights to exemptions on that. And then if you're the spouse of, like, a first responder, a police officer, a firefighter who's passed in the line of duty, you are, you know, your old tax break there. So just with homestead and any exemption, file for those exemptions, because why pay more?
Right. When you can pay, you can get a discount.
And if you got money like that, send a check to Real Talk Atlanta.
Drop the gems. That was a good one. Very good information.
Yes. So, and we're halfway through. So I just want to say really quickly, you guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and to follow us on Instagram.
Yes. All platforms.
Because look, we got commandments on just about everything.
Everything real estate.
All things real estate. Okay, so let's knock these out. So commandment number 6. That one, I want you guys to remember to update your addresses. So, for instance, be sure to forward all your mail to the post office, or if you have any subscriptions that come to your house every month, be sure to update your address. You don't want people...
That's a gem, child, because I ain't gonna lie, I haven't done that yet.
No. Update your address.
No. I have a client that closed on her home literally last month while the seller is still receiving packages.
See,
That's
like,
me.
the old seller, right?
I guarantee, like, my credit card company still thinks I go to the University of Missouri because I have not changed my address.
Girl.
Oh my Columbia,
gosh.
Missouri. I have
You could be
moved
missing.
7 times since I've been here since 2017.
whoa,
I've moved 7 times.
You be on the move.
right?
I do not like moving.
No, look. But, I just forget all the time. So, no, that's a really good one because I just closed on my house and
Yeah,
And that'll affect your
they don't
taxes
know.
too, because your ID will need to affect.
Oh
will
my
need to
God.
reflect your
Speaking
residence.
of, yes,
Yes.
you will not get that reimbursement.
So make sure that address is
Yeah, if
reflected.
you don't want other people having your personal items, go ahead and update your address immediately.
you can do that with the post office. Super
Yes.
easy.
Mm-hmm.
5
do it.
minutes. Get it done.
So commandment number 7 for this
7.
one, yes, this one's really important too, and that is getting your home warranty and your home insurance.
Yes.
Which is lovely. I love that because home insurance, you guys have to know the difference. Home insurance is totally different from your home warranty. A lot of buyers get that misinterpreted. But what I tell them is your home insurance is an annual service. They're both annual services, but your home insurance is actually, well, you can't. Now lenders require for you to have home insurance because they have to protect their investment, right? So your home insurance is in place for you to protect the structure of the home. So when it comes to, like natural disasters, if you have a roofing problem, major structural problems, like major things that's gonna have to do with the home being built again,
Or like fire
Yes.
stuff. If someone breaks into your house and takes all your
and
goods.
that's what home insurance covers. And what the lender will do, they will put some money in escrow for you, literally, well, part of your mortgage. That's what goes towards your home insurance. How soon can you contact your home insurance? As soon as you move in. And I have a story for that. But let's go over home warranty. Home warranty is another annual service. However, it is not required, just like home insurance. But as for me, for my clients, I always get them a home warranty. Like that's the best thing that I probably could negotiate from them, because you have the you have the chance to kind of have the seller pay for it before closing. And your home warranty covers appliances, things that are kind of cosmetic in the home, systems. So your water heater, AC, HVAC, and
All the
whenever
important stuff.
all the important stuff. So whenever you have your inspection report, this is why you should always keep all your documents, because your inspection report, you can go back and say, okay, let me see what the home warranty can cover.
Absolutely.
Now that
Right.
you didn't have to pay for it, you
And
know?
with resale, especially because when you buy an older home, like I said, you move in, and the last thing you're thinking is that your AC, your HVAC can go out, and 3 weeks later, you like, what do I do? Who do I call?
Okay.
So that warranty really does protect you in the event that one of those major systems breaks, because it decreases like the amount you have to pay to actually get it serviced or fixed. So
Right.
I love a good home warranty.
And this is where it came to hand, like both of them. I had a deal. We closed on a property. It was a resale, but the seller was an investor, so he did like major work on the property. Well, it wasn't structural work, but he, went and did a little cosmetic, put a little lipstick on it, right? So my clients moved in literally a week after she was washing the dishes. Then her husband was in the back of the house. Water was coming all the way down the wall. So he's like, babe, what you doing in there? Like, she's like, I'm just washing the dishes. Comes to find out, when they were installing the new kitchen, whatever renovations they did, the home, like they literally scraped through the pipes within on the inside, and we never knew. So the inspector, when we did our inspection, like none of that. So that is good to know, because after you close on your home as a buyer, you are responsible 110% for everything that goes wrong in the home. So she calls me, she's like, this is going on, that is going on. So come to find out, we try to call the home insurance to see, what they covered. So after we're going through the problem, then it became like they did really illegal electrical work.
Sound like a lawsuit.
Under the stuff. So then we started finding, so hopefully, because she had a warranty, the warranty covered for the electrical work. The insurance covered for the plumbing. and then she had to come out of pocket a little bit for the rest to put the cabinets back in. But if she didn't have to, if she didn't have the home warranty,
she didn't have that protection, she would have been
paying like thousands and thousands of dollars. And if she didn't have home insurance, of course, like that would have been a lot expensive. So imagine moving in your home, like it's a new home and you have to go through that.
Right. The same thing happened with my mom. Yeah. Something like with her dishwasher, it started flooding at no fault to her. She got a whole brand new kitchen.
Right. And people are probably like, why can't we contact the seller? Georgia is a buyer beware state. The seller is not liable once you close.
Right. Yeah.
So
it's up to, hold on, I'm sorry, but this is really important. I'm
going to let you finish.
I'm going to let you finish first.
But during your due diligence, it's up to you. You have to make sure you do all the inspection that you need to, whether it's electrician and stuff, because some inspectors, they'll tell you like, I'm not a plumber, I'm not an electrician, so I'm not going to do that further. Yeah. It's up to you, because after you close, you cannot sue the seller. You cannot ask the seller to do anything to repair that.
Yeah, they're not liable to do anything. Protect your asset. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, you have to. Your asset. And speaking on that, because this kind of ties into commandment number 8, I always want to recommend that you guys save. Like you said, protect your asset. Right. So you need to have some savings for your home, because like you said, buyers, they're liable for everything that happens. So it doesn't hurt. I would say go ahead and open up a savings account, because you have to cover any maintenance, or even if you bought a resale home, if there were any inspection, if there were any issues in your inspection that the seller didn't agree to fix.
Yeah. Right, you have to fix it.
Yeah, you can always go back to that inspection report, and if you have money saved, have a contractor come out and fix those items that were on that report before you bought the home.
Yeah, I would say, especially with a resale, moving into your new home is not something that's going to be perfect as soon as there are little things that you can work on. So saving that money to go towards that. Y'all know I bought my house is okay, but I want us to do all this work in, and I'm like, I'm not going to come in the door just like pouring all this money in. I'm going to take my time, do a little here, do a little there, whether it was cosmetic or whether it were issues that weren't addressed on the inspection report. It's super important to have that money put aside so that if something does happen, or if it's like, hey, I just want to do this new upgrade in my house, you kind of have it. You don't have to, dip into your everyday funds. Like,
right.
Y'all already had y'all fun. Y'all spent y'all funds. So slow down a little bit.
Right.
And save a little money.
I'm curious, because you've been doing renovations on your new home, right?
Oh, we've seen the bathroom. It's so
cute. And I wanted to say, so how much so far you spent on just renovations?
If I'm being completely honest, so my house I gutted 2 bathrooms. I did a kitchen over. I redid floors, paint, fixtures.
You did the whole house.
That's the whole house.
Brand new.
It's gonna be a brand new house. Right now, I will definitely do a whole tally of the bill. Right now, I'm somewhere around.
Are you over your budget?
Oh my God! I'm moving upwards closer to $30,000.
No,
really? Gosh.
Yeah, give me $1, man.
It's gone. It's in the walls. It's on the floor.
Yeah, the money is gone. It's definitely gone. But we'll definitely
you took out a whole kitchen.
Yeah, I gutted the bathroom down to the stub.
Redoing the whole house.
Yeah, I redid my house. My bathroom was ripped down to the studs. I took the whole tub out and did a shower. I did a lot of crazy stuff. So it's just like, it's a lot of money. But for what I did, it was really like a worthwhile project. So wee'll do a whole episode about like investing.
You were prepared for that. You saved for that.
I saved.
So there we go.
I wanted to have fun, y'all.
Value now. Your home.
You hear me?
I
wanted to have fun, so I saved my fun.
I know that's right.
T-shirt coming
practice what you preach. Period.
Yep. Okay, so we almost done. Commandment number 9. This is for my relocation clients. If you're moving out of state or out of town, I think it's really important that you update your driver's license, your registration tags on your car, register to vote. Because when that time comes, you want to... Why are you saying, oop? Did you not do this?
I have actually been in Atlanta since 2017. I do still have Illinois driver's license and plate. In my defense,
I still have South Carolina as well.
Right, I am still in Wilson, Illinois. I still go back. I still have a permanent address. But I'm telling y'all, the police don't be trying to hear that. And I done got pulled over 3 or 4 times. They like... So what are you doing here? I'm like, you right.
Yeah.
So please do that, y'all, because that's a whole different issue that can turn into something.
That way, like, especially like when it's time to vote, you know where to go. Those things are just really important. And it's always maybe like right now it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but until it happens, like you said, you're like, man, I should have did that. Right. So yeah, go ahead and get that done.
That ticket, by the way, is $400 if they find you liable for not having the correct tags in place. So even aside from like making sure you're like properly settled into where you purchased your home, do it because you're supposed to.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to wait till the last minute when it's too late, you know.
And if you're relocating and you're laughing. If you're relocating and you got kids too, make sure that you register them in school enough, like especially if you're moving in the summer and stuff.
Yeah, so that's really important.
Oh yeah, for
sure. All right, y'all ready for the last one? Because I'm gonna take y'all to church.
Not least. Now we going to church.
Yes. After you close on your home, I think this may be one of the most important things. I'm kidding, it's not most important. I want you to go outside. I want you to look neighbor at the left, neighbor on the right, look at the neighbor in front of you and say, hey, neighbor, and introduce yourself.
That's very true.
Yes, you need to introduce yourself to your neighbors, especially if you have children or if you're new to the area. It's good to know who's in your community, you know, because I want to ask, since y'all's clients are next door neighbors, have they met each other yet?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think when they closed, Taisha saw my brother, but and I told y'all he didn't turn on his utilities. I was like, see, if you knew your neighbor, she might let you borrow that Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think they met. I'm gonna pray for your neighbor because that's not what I want for her. But I would say this with the neighbors. So I haven't moved into my house obviously because I'm still doing the renovations. But one day I pulled over there. And my neighbor, I could see somebody in the window. So I'm like,
are they like
and
looking
as soon as I see the blinds kind of moving, so as soon as I get out the car, my neighbor rushed out there. Hello, I'm like, hi. She said, are you living here now? Like, is this the girl? She gave me the rundown on the whole community.
I know that's right.
This is her. She the dog. She got this dog. Okay. I thought she was the HOA president. But the one thing I love about that is, you know, I am 25. I'm young. I'm going to have my little fun and stuff. But y'all ain't going to steal no packages from my house.
Right.
Nobody's coming in my house because my neighbor going to be like, let me call River because she don't play. So I think it's important to know your neighbors because it's like when you kind of moving around and stuff like that and just stuff that's going on, like you got somebody kind of watch your back.
Right.
Absolutely.
You never know when you'll need them.
Yeah, you may always need a favor. You can call on your neighbor, you know.
Yeah.
And
I'm
also
going to Zumba with mine. So.
Oh, that's so cute. I love friends.
We're definitely
y'all friends.
You ain't even moved in yet.
Trust me, we're friends.
I can't wait to meet her because I know when we come over, you're going to see her.
Yeah, she's going to be like...
Who is that? I got the hand. Y'all are crazy. So yeah, that pretty much sums up all of the 10 commandments that we want you guys to do. Yep, just drop 10 gems. Yes, and I want to reiterate that although we're your realtors and we're here to help you throughout your transaction, we will always be a resource for you even after you close. So if you have any questions about what you need to do after closing, always, hit one of us up and we'll be sure to tell you.
We got
my clients always tell me like, Nika, you're not gonna get rid of me.
No,
right. We're for lifers.
I haven't been to this many housewarmings and baby parties in my life, but y'all know I love a good razzle dazzle. I love a charcuterie board. I love invite me to the events. I got a wedding and a first birthday in August, so I'm so excited.
Oh, that's so nice.
Shout out to the Lanes.
Shout out to our past clients.
Yeah, all of y'all.
I love y'all.
Yeah, for real.
Love.
All right, Miss Realtor Bay, Ashley LeRae. What is our question of the day, y'all? Y'all know this is
my favorite part.
The juicy part.
Serious part for me.
So before I say the question, I also want to remind you guys, be sure if you want to submit your questions, you can do that on Instagram or send us an email. We would love to answer your question on the show. So today's question that somebody sent in, I thought it was pretty funny. Let me pull it up. I have it on my phone. So someone asked, what is the craziest thing that's happened to you at a property showing before? Because I got some crazy stories.
Actually, right. I know Ashley got some crazy.
I'm going to only give y'all one, but just know I got like a whole Rolodex full of crazy stories.
I got a good one too.
Who wants to go first?
I would say this was a little more bizarre than crazy, but I was doing a showing. One thing about me, y'all, I don't do animals. Y'all will only see me with one animal. That is my brother's dog.
We love him.
We love Cairo, but that's it. I don't do animals. I've been literally scared of animals my whole life. I'm walking into a property showing them. When I'm showing houses, my energy is high. Like, I'm pointing out this and this and this. I open the door. I walk in and a cat zips across my feet through the living room, and I basically jumped on my client. I felt so bad. And it's like my first time meeting the client. Like, it was just giving very like, this lady might be crazy.
What's wrong with her?
But I was so scared. Like, cats are really sneaky and slick to me. So like the cat just like, it just went right across the room, and I just jumped right onto my client. And she was like,
"Are you
okay?
okay? You sound just like Jess. She literally called me.
I didn't go in the
She
house.
hates cats.
She was like, "There's a cat. Should I tell him I'm not going to show him? I'm not going in there."
No, I did not go in the house. I had to stand. I told them like, I'm standing right here.
Y'all
The
go
door
in?
is open. I'm like, and if you look to the right, you can. But I'm not going in the house, y'all. When I see that,
Crazy. I definitely this isn't my story, but it's happened to me before. I was like walking throughout the house, and I remember in the master closet the light was off, and I look and I see some lights, some eyes glowing. I was like, is that a cat? Like, what is going on? She was really sweet though.
Please lock y'all cats
Yeah,
up.
it's just like glowing in the dark.
They need to disclose that. Let them know. Let the
No,
animals
take
in
y'all
there.
cat to work. Do something
Not
like
to
that.
work.
Scared me.
Lock your animals up.
Lock
I
them up in the
can't.
garage. They usually lock them in the garage.
Oh, that's so terrible.
It's
I
hot
terrible.
It's hot outside.
don't like cats. I must be the only. Wow, am I a cat lady? I must be the only
might
person
be.
who
You
likes
might
cats.
I don't like no cats. I love a dog though.
Oh my gosh. I guess I can tell y'all my story next. There was one time I was doing a virtual showing for a client. I was there for a minute. Like, I walked throughout the whole house and turned all the lights on, you know? So I walked through the whole downstairs, kitchen, living room, make my way upstairs. And I'm in the master room and I hear something. I'm in the room. I hear something in the bathroom. And next thing I know, this man like comes out of the shower. Like,
I would have been.
What did you say?
I didn't say no. I was like, oh my God. Like, yeah, it was crazy.
like,
It was
hello.
crazy. He was like, oh my gosh, like I must have lost track of time. I'm leaving right now.
No.
It was crazy.
It's too late.
Yeah.
We here. Out the house. I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, oh my gosh. It was, yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Something happened like this to me at a showing, but instead I almost got shot.
What? Wait.
Wait, what? All right, it's getting too real in real estate.
What?
Yes, I almost got shot. You know, we schedule our showings.
Yo,
that's not funny.
We're glad you're here to tell this story.
It's crazy to me. So listen. So I'm going to the home. You know, like, you know me. I'm excited. Like, oh, I'm here showing houses.
Content queen.
Right. Getting content. So one thing that I do before I go in the home, I'll knock and say, buyer's agent, buyer's agent. So after unlocking the door, I say that about like 5 times. And I didn't hear anything, but the alarm is going off. I have like anxiety about alarms.
Yeah.
Like when I go and the alarm is ticking because I had the police pull up on me once. But anyway,
That happened too.
we go in there and I open the door. I wait for a little bit and I'm like, okay, I think it's my cue to go in. I go in. He said,
Oh, no.
No, you just did a bow and arrow.
and
That's not
it was a
good.
catwalk. Like it was like a catwalk. You know, the
Oh my
stairs are
gosh.
forward. There.
Is that a shotgun?
Who is this? I'm sorry.
What?
Yes.
Did you not
and I was
schedule the
like,
show?
this is a buyer's agent, please. He was like, did you know you almost got shot? I said, like, you know, there was, you know, you're selling your home. Like, I don't understand.
know what's going on.
Right. Yeah, like, what's going on?
What?
He said, don't do that again. I said, okay.
Look,
I'll be right
man, I
back.
was just trying to sell your
Yeah,
house.
Can we please drop another commandment? When you walk into a house, say buyer's agent, because I've
Right.
never done that. But
No,
now,
I always say that.
Yeah, I used to say
buyer's
hello.
agent, buyer's
Yeah.
agent, buyer's agent. He never said anything.
Same with
So I walked
me.
in.
It's like they were hiding, like they want something to happen.
Right.
'Cause I always say something too.
No, he was at the top and he was like pointing at me. I said, y'all should have seen my face.
I was so bad. I would have dropped the lockbox.
I was so
Like, oh my
terrified.
god.
Yeah.
I'll give you a minute. I'll give you a minute. And I come back. My client was like, what's going on? I said,
nothing.
nothing. Just
See,
wait
well,
a
they
minute.
don't know what we have to deal with.
Right. You know, like he came out. Yeah, he left. Like he came out. He was like, don't do that. I said,
How about a I'm
Did
sorry?
you not schedule an appointment?
Right, I did schedule an appointment.
so
it was very much
funny.
You
scheduled.
could have at least apologized.
Right.
I mean, offer some
Don't do
closing
that
costs.
again.
Don't
Yeah.
do that.
Moral
He
to
was
the
like,
story.
I
Don't do
didn't-
that again.
And this is why it's good to get your locks changed after you move into
Right.
because these people are crazy.
Taisha, how can you even top that?
My story is going to be just a little dry because I just thank God I've never had a gun pointed at me. But anyway, I think my craziest thing probably was, when we knew realtors, and then like, when you get to the house, it's going to be a super. But do you really know what a super is?
A super?
Right. I didn't really know what a super was. So I'm at the house, and I'm knocking. I'm trying to get in. I'm calling my mentor, like, I can't get in the house. How does the super look? I'm seeing a blue box. And it's an old lady come outside, and she like, yes. I'm like, oh, I'm here to do a showing. She was like, this house is not for sale. I'm just like, what in the world?
What do you
I'm
mean?
like 3 houses down
the wrong house.
from the wrong house.
I
the
think
sign was in the yard. I'm thinking like, oh, it's another house in the neighborhood for sale.
Right.
No, girl, the house was not for sale. She was like, this house is not for sale,
Especially
baby.
in those new construction communities where they look the same, or like the newer ones.
It's like, you gotta pay attention to little stuff. So I'm just like, okay, well, I'm at the wrong house.
Sorry.
My body looked
At
at
least
me
she
like,
didn't tell you, don't do that again.
no, seriously. My body looked at me like, girl, do you know what you're doing? I'm like, not really, but let's go ahead.
Yeah, I can say we all probably been there before, like went to the wrong house. That was so embarrassing.
Things happen
Especially when your clients are there. It's like,
yeah, we definitely got to do an episode on like new agents and like the do's and don'ts.
Common mistakes.
Yes, we got to do commandments for the agents, not just the buyers.
Yes. Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, so I really like this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. So
look, I learned a lot of stuff that I need to go ahead and do.
Right. So y'all have homework until next week, things that you need to do.
Yes, ma'am.
So yes, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Real Talk Atlanta, and we will catch you guys next week.
See you guys.
Thank you.